Glenn, Mr. Conahan.
Present.
Introduction of guests, starting right side, if anybody wants to introduce themselves. Nope.
You know me.
I'll entertain a motion to approve minutes for April 7th, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Turner,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Conahan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. We have nothing for old business, so we'll move on to new business. The first one's E3I Ventures approval. So this is just the request from the county to get permission for E3I Ventures, Extreme Fireworks to have a tent for retail sale at state approved. This will be for fireworks over in Atlanta from June 10th through July 10th, 2026.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Monahan made the motion.
And I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Turner. Any discussions, questions? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, motion passes. Second one is a raffle request for Atlanta Public Library Museum Foundation. This should be in the back of your packets.
And I'll make that motion that we approve it.
Motion made by Mr. Turner. Second by
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Conahan. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion's approved. Third one's, 3 appointments for Beeson Chestnut Public Water District Trust employees, or appointments. So the first one's for Mr. Jeff Chandler. This is for term May 14th of 2026 to May 14th, 2029. Second one's for David All, May 14th, 2026 to May 14th, 2029. And the third one's for Steve Hyde, May 14th, 2026 to May 14th, 2029.
And I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Turner, seconded by
I'll second it.
Mr. Conahan. Any questions, discussions? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Okay, move on to the fourth one, which was an ordinance review, which was a request from the public, Mr. Keys. So, additional information on that. So what we found was there was actually an application for zoning ordinance amendment. I wasn't aware, Mr. Green's out of town, but notified us that you would personally fill this out, kind of like what your email says. And then what would happen, and because of the request and what potential impact, it would have to go through the zoning committee, because then it'd also have to go, like I mentioned last night, RPC, ZBA, to the board, audit committee, things like that. So I didn't realize we had that, or I would have given that information other night. This is just for amendments for.
That's the other reason I was asking for stuff to be put on the website, so citizens have a quicker and easier route trying to figure this out. So I just fill this out, and then who do I turn it to?
This is hidden, and then she'll get it to the committee, and it'll be put on the zoning committee to come out and discuss officially on the agenda.
Now, I was informed by, I believe that was email from you, Hannah.
I said it was more like a resolution
Yeah.
format, so we need to change the format, or can he leave the
Well,
format?
that was the question based on this resolution or the request, because what it would impact, because we'd have to still go through RPC because it's economic development, even though it's zoning, but RPC oversees enterprise and things like that, and ZBA, because the way the request is written in here, we're basically for the county to vote on data centers or other developers. It's more than just going through like a zoning and up to the board, because RPC is part of that review, ZBA. So it's almost the same as a normal ordinance, but based on this not being a
I think it's just the wording.
different type of resolution.
I'm not an attorney. I was
So like
just
if
a
it's a
retired cop.
generic resolution, say, hey, I want county lights to be lit up on this day for this holiday, because we have a policy in place that already says what days we can change colors. And if you wanted that, that would just stay through exactly personnel, because that's just a normal resolution. But based on the request in that resolution, would have to go to RBC, ZBA, zoning committee, everything else, because that's more enterprise economic. If that makes sense.
So now that being said, and I've kind of lost in some of what you said, just to be honest. After I turn this into her,
Yes.
then what's the next step?
Next up, she would put it on the zoning committee. Brad would review. And then, based on what we get back from Brad, state's attorney reviewed, then the committee would review it and decide if they wanted to move forward with it and send it to, the board for approval to send over to RPC and ZBA, and then back to the board for any recommendations, challenges, things like that.
Would he be able to reword it into a, from a resolution wording to more of an ordinance wording, so, because that was my mistake. I didn't realize I was doing that.
Yes and no.
Can he take the idea and run with it, or does he, do I need to?
He would do his legal review, the state's attorney, and give his recommendations, but if we were to turn it to ordinance like we have with all the other ones that are currently, we have a attorney that we hire that writes it out as ordinance. If it's a generic resolution, we usually write our own, but based on the request in that one, that would most likely have to go to attorney, get written up officially into our ordinance based on that, and then the input from like RPC, if it came out of the committee, to go to the board, to go to RPC, ZBA, back and forth, kind of like what the process is now for debt centers.
Okay, now,
I know
This
this
sounds
sounds like,
like-
I'm trying to lay it out here.
sounds like a lot of meetings, and it sounds like a lot of things are coming up. So how do I keep track of all that? Because I don't even know what some of these steps are they're talking about. Will they contact me because I'm the one who proposed the ordinance? Does the county actually contact me and say, hey, this is the next step on it? Or do I have to keep contacting maybe this lady, I don't know, to find out, or?
I will make sure there's communications from myself or somebody else who'll say, hey, after you submit that application, it goes to the zoning committee and Brad can review what comes out of there next, and then obviously, most likely, depending, would potentially be on the next zoning committee agenda. And then I would recommend to come to the committee to give, voice your opinion, your recommendation, why you submitted it. Then obviously the committee would review, decide, entertain a motion, move it forward to the board, because it has to all the way to board approval, just get sent to RPC. And then obviously in between legal reviews, attorney writing the ordinance format, things like that. So this is not a simple process as.
Starting to sound like one of my state level investigations I used to do. All right, so, I'll get this filled out and I'll do this. The other thing I wanna point out is that I had sent this young lady an email, and it never got to her. Might have went spam, trash, who knows? She got a second email from me though, and I did send one to all board members and the zoning board and the regular board, and then I sent it to the main board and the zoning board emails. Would you guys, because if this happened to me, there's a possibility it might have happened to somebody else. If you guys could please check your trash, your spam, just in case, because Gmail is noted for having that. I used to have that problem with my state email when I would get something from individuals and it was a private email, like Gmail especially, it would go to the spam folder a lot of times.
Yeah, I can make sure to mention that as a reminder.
Yeah.
We can send emails to board members, just make sure you check your spam, and other folders inside your email.
Because it happened to me, and there's a good chance it might happen to somebody else, and I just.
Yeah, and we have an automatic filter for spam that looks for things and that flag and move it, so I can make sure it's communicated out to board members.
So when I do turn this in, do I turn in the copy, because I've already given you a copy, should I turn in another copy with this form, or?
You can, yeah, just to be on the safe side, so I get both together and they don't get separated.
Then maybe I can try and work on it. I've got some friends that are trying to see if I might be able to figure out the wording a little bit better so it fit ordinance material. When would so when I turn this in, when would a possible meeting come up on the calendar?
Your zoning is usually the first Monday of the month, usually, but that won't be decided till the regular.
So we're looking at, next month then,
Yeah.
in June.
Yeah, but it should be decided on the regular.
So I got a
when
few
zoning
days
will
to be able to get this done and get this to you.
Mhm.
And
We got time, as long as we get it 48 hours before the meeting.
Yeah.
I'll get it to you long for that.
So right now,
Otherwise I won't be able to sleep.
As of right now, the committee meeting would potentially be on June 1st. But of course, that's been changing, we validate with all members, they can still show up that Monday or that night, we have to form, so sometimes we may have to move it to a different Monday, but right now, if everybody was aligned still, it would be June 1st for the next meeting.
Okay, and where do I find you in this book?
So on the first floor, when you come in, if you turn left, kind of go towards the women's restroom, you'll see a sign, Logan County Board Assistant, Secretary. There
Right
you go.
past the elevator.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, all right, well, that's simple enough, so I guess that's it then, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Was there any other discussion on ordinance reviews? Okay. I'll move on to public comments. Is there any public comments? Anybody on the sign up sheet?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Turner, seconded by Mr. Cunningham. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, meeting adjourned at 6:10 PM.